Hi boys and girls, today is Earth Day, woohoo! So of course, what will we be doing but reading a book that helps us understand a little bit more how we can help the Earth. So, what do we think we can do to help the Earth? You tell me. Sounds good. So some ways that we can help the Earth is by being green. What does that mean? What does it mean to be green? So today we are going to be reading a book that is titled, What Does It Mean to Be Green? It will help us and definitely tell us what it means to be green. What do we see a lot of pictures of? What do we see in that picture? We see a lot of green grass. We see some people. Do we see a lot of tall buildings? No, but we do see some over here, right? What does it mean to be green? Does it mean being good with plants? No. Does it mean feeling sick in the car? No. Does it mean looking like a frog or a pickle or an alien? They are green, but no. That's not what it means to be green. Being green means turning the lights on in your home only when you need them. That means turning off the lights when we're not in a room, or we're not using the lights in the room, or we don't need to use them. When it's daylight outside, we don't need to use the lights because it's bright enough. Being green means eating foods grown locally, like in our town, or even from your own garden. Being green means walking to the park instead of getting a ride in your car. We're not polluting our area, we're using our feet to get somewhere, not a car. Being green means packing your lunch in containers that you bring home every day. Instead of bringing a brown paper bag, we can bring containers and use them again and again and again. So we're not throwing out a lot of things. Being green means enjoying your favorite ice cream cone, your ice cream in a cone rather than in a paper cup with a plastic spoon. So we don't have to throw anything out. We just eat our ice cream and we can eat the cone. We don't have to have a cup or a plastic spoon and then we have to throw it out. Being green means picking up trash that isn't yours and putting it in the garbage. Being green means putting bottles, cans, plastic, and paper into recycling bins, just like we do at school. We have a paper bin and we also have a trash bin. Using your food scraps to make fertilizer for your garden. That's what it also means to be green. So instead of throwing out maybe a skin on the banana, you can put it in dirt and it can be really good food for plants to grow. Being green means collecting rainwater instead of using a hose. So sometimes when people have a garden or some places they don't have a lot of water, they save that rainwater from the rain outside when it rains. And what do? They use it for other things. They reuse it so they can water the garden instead of using water from a home. Some people use that water to clean themselves. Okay, let's see what else it means to be green. Being green means drawing on two sides of your paper instead of just one. So we're still using paper, but instead of wasting it and just drawing something on one side, you can use the other side too and not waste the paper and just throw it out. Being green means giving the clothes you've outgrown to someone smaller than you. Maybe you have a smaller brother or a smaller cousin, or maybe you donate them to somebody who is smaller than you that can reuse them. So they can reuse those clothes instead of throwing them out like trash. Someone else can use them. Wearing your pajamas one more time before washing them. Being green also means turning off the water while you brush your teeth. So when you brush your teeth, you brush, and you put that toothpaste on there. Instead of letting the water run, you can turn it off and brush, spit out, and then you can turn the water back on. I know, I definitely do that all the time. I leave the water running, and I need to stop doing that so I can help the earth and I can be more green. Being green means thinking of new ways to conserve. Conserve energy means to kind of take in energy. Instead of using the dryer at a laundromat, you can hang your clothes outside to dry and let the air dry them. Let's see, what else do we have? Instead of putting the heat really high, you can keep it low and just wear a couple of more sweaters or and keep yourself warm that way. Instead of using a car, you can walk or use a bike. Okay? Those are a lot of different ways that we can be green. Being green means reminding grown-ups to be green too. So sometimes we forget, like I told you. I sometimes forget to turn off the water when I brush my teeth. So sometimes I need a little reminder. Like, I can remind myself to... Being green means doing whatever we can. It means understanding that 1/3 of the water is used in most homes. And most of that water is flushed down the toilet. One bus carries as many people as 40 cars. So that, if you think one car has pollution, think of one bus. One bus is like 40 cars. That's a lot of pollution. Each minute, 100 acres of rainforest is being cut down. So we need those trees because those trees provide oxygen for us to breathe. Your food travels an average of 1,500 miles just to be on your plate. That means that we get a lot of our fruit and vegetables and milk from farms or places that are very far away, and they ship them to where we live so that we can eat and drink them. A lot of our newspaper we recycle. I'm so wrong. If all of our newspaper were recycled, we could save a lot. 250 million trees a year. That's a lot of trees. Recycling one glass bottle saves enough energy to light a 100-watt bulb for 4 hours. That's amazing. Being green means doing whatever we can to protect Earth's precious resources. So, tell your friends what it means to be green and spread the word. If we can all be green, we can all save the world. So we need to recycle. We need to reuse things that we can reuse, and we need to reduce things that we don't need all the time. So let's see. That's it. There are the 3 R's that we need to remember. We have reduce, which means we have to kind of stop not stop altogether, but do less of. So if we're going to reduce our energy with our light bulbs, we turn off the lights when we're not in a room or we don't need the lights on, okay? Reuse, so we said we can reuse things like containers to take to lunch. We have a lunch box, we have containers, so we're not throwing out little plastic bags and paper bags all the time. And what did we have? Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Okay, so after you recycle, instead of throwing everything into the trash, we take our bottles and throw them where the bottles are supposed to go, and the newspapers in the newspaper bin. That way, we can recycle them and reuse them for something else. So, I hope to see you being green or trying, reminding your parents, and helping out others so that we can save our world and have a better earth. Bye, boys and girls. Hope to see you soon.